A single man's insatiable ambition and risky financial ventures turned thousands of trusting retirees' golden dreams into nightmares, reshaping American politics and finance forever. We are a growing channel and appreciate your support. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video so we can keep making more content and continue to improve our quality. We at the Capital Curiosity team thank you for your support and can't wait to bring you even better content in the future. Meet Charles Keating, the charismatic mastermind behind one of America's most notorious financial scandals. Charles Keating emerged as one of the most controversial figures of the late 20th century, a symbol of excess, greed, and corruption that marked the infamous savings and loan crisis of the 1980s. Born on December 4, 1923 in Cincinnati, Ohio, Keating's early life was marked by promise and ambition. A gifted swimmer and a naval pilot during World War II, Keating seemed destined for success and respectability. After the war, he pursued a career in law, graduating from the University of Cincinnati College of Law in 1948. However, his ambitions quickly led him into the volatile world of finance and real estate. In the 1970s, Keating moved to Phoenix, Arizona, where he began to cultivate a reputation as a bold and aggressive real estate developer. His charm, determination, and persuasive personality quickly won him allies and allowed him to accumulate substantial wealth. In 1978, Keating founded American Continental Homes, a residential real estate firm that specialized in large-scale housing developments in Arizona. The company flourished during the real estate boom of the late 1970s and early 1980s, quickly becoming one of the region's major home builders. Seeking to capitalize on its success and diversify, Keating reorganized and expanded the company into American Continental Corporation, a publicly traded holding company that would serve as the vehicle for his increasingly ambitious ventures. Under Keating's leadership, ACC branched far beyond residential housing. It became a sprawling conglomerate with interests in office parks, luxury resorts, and commercial developments across the Southwest. Keating utilized aggressive financing strategies, including the use of high-yield debt and complex financial instruments, to fund rapid expansion. He cultivated deep political ties and built a personal image as a civic leader and patron of Catholic charities, even as ACC's balance sheet became increasingly leveraged and opaque. By the early 1980s, Keating was seeking access to greater capital and saw the savings and loan industry then undergoing a wave of deregulation as a prime opportunity. He believed that by acquiring a financial institution, he could gain direct control over massive pools of depositor money to continue fueling ACC's real estate empire. In 1984, Keating's American Continental Corporation acquired Lincoln Savings and Loan Association, a once conservative financial institution headquartered in Irvine, California. Under Keating's leadership, Lincoln transformed dramatically, moving away from its traditional role as a safe repository for depositors' savings toward highly speculative and risky real estate investments. Keating's ambitious vision for Lincoln Savings coincided with broader deregulation trends in the financial industry, notably the GARN, St. Germain Depository Institutions Act of 1982. This legislation, designed to help savings and loan institutions survive high interest rates and inflation, inadvertently opened the door to aggressive financial tactics. Keating seized this opportunity, rapidly expanding Lincoln's portfolio into junk bonds and high-risk commercial real estate ventures. Within 4 short years, Lincoln's assets ballooned from $1.1 billion to over $5.5 billion. Keating, enjoying the heights of financial success, lived lavishly, mingling with political and business elites. But behind this manufactured facade, trouble loomed. Regulators became increasingly concerned about Lincoln's solvency and began investigating its operations. Keating, determined to stave off scrutiny, engaged in extensive lobbying efforts. Between 1986 and 1987, he contributed significant campaign funds to 5 prominent U.S. senators: Alan Cranston, Dennis DeConcini, John Glenn, Donald W. Regal, and John McCain. These senators, later infamously known as the Keating Five, met with regulators in April 1987 to inquire about the investigations into Lincoln, implying inappropriate pressure on the oversight bodies. The regulatory pushback intensified as the Federal Home Loan Bank Board continued probing Lincoln Savings' suspicious financial practices. By April 1989, regulators could no longer ignore the mounting losses and seized control of Lincoln. This takeover revealed a devastating truth. Thousands of investors, primarily elderly retirees, had been misled into investing their life savings into worthless junk bonds marketed by Lincoln and its parent company, American Continental Corporation. The total cost to taxpayers for Lincoln's bailout exceeded $3 billion, a catastrophic sum emblematic of the broader savings and loan crisis which eventually cost American taxpayers approximately $160 billion. Keating's downfall came swiftly. In 1991, he was convicted on charges of fraud, racketeering, and conspiracy. Although some convictions were overturned on appeal, Keating served nearly 5 years in prison before being released in 1996. The scandal forever tarnished his legacy and highlighted the devastating human cost of unchecked financial greed. Among those most impacted by Keating's actions was Senator John McCain. The scandal significantly marred McCain's early political career, exposing him to intense public scrutiny over his judgment and ethics. McCain had received approximately $112,000 in campaign contributions from Keating and had frequently traveled on Keating's private jet. Although he was ultimately cleared of legal wrongdoing, the damage to his reputation was profound. Motivated by this experience, McCain became a passionate advocate for campaign finance reform, co-authoring the Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act of 2002, commonly known as the McCain-Feingold Act. For the retirees impacted by Lincoln's collapse, the consequences were devastating and deeply personal. One poignant anecdote concerns retired schoolteacher Helen Augustine, who trusted Lincoln Savings with her life savings, believing the institution's claims of safety and high returns. Helen, like thousands of others, discovered too late that her money was invested in worthless bonds, and overnight her life's financial security evaporated. The Lincoln Savings and Loan debacle under Keating's watch triggered significant regulatory reforms. It became a cautionary tale about the dangers of deregulation and the toxic mix of finance and politics. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Improvement Act of 1991 and other subsequent regulations were direct responses to the catastrophic losses and corruption epitomized by Lincoln Savings. These reforms tightened oversight and set stricter requirements for capital adequacy and transparency in financial institutions. Charles Keating passed away on March 31, 2014, at age 90. His death reopened conversations about his controversial legacy, reflecting both the charm and charisma that once propelled him to success, and the devastating recklessness and greed that brought his spectacular downfall. Keating's story endures as a critical lesson in financial ethics, regulatory responsibility, and the intricate, often perilous relationship between wealth and political influence. The saga serves as a stark reminder of the human cost when financial institutions gamble recklessly, underscored by the lasting pain inflicted upon countless ordinary investors.